torniamo a parlare in italiano. Innanzitutto devo fare un annuncio importante di quelli che si fanno sempre, nel senso che c'è da spostare una macchina, ahimè, ma ostruisce un'uscita di sicurezza e se non viene spostata ci penseranno i vigili. È una Renault Megane targata DX725WF. DX725WF Renault Megane, da spostare immediatamente, altrimenti ci penseranno i vigili. Allora, andiamo avanti. Adesso parliamo di un argomento differente. Abbiamo parlato spesso delle strutture turistiche, di come si devono muovere sui social media. Adesso parliamo un po' del consumatore. Abbiamo invitato Rania El Haddad, che arriverà presto sul palco, penso sia pronta, della SURREY University, che ha fatto una ricerca molto molto interessante. È una ricerca di come il consumatore, here comes Rania, here comes Andrew, which is our moderator and interviewer, Rania El Haddad, Andrew Morsi. Hello, welcome on stage. She's done a research of how the consumers sees our strategy. So as you see, hotels and travel agents and airlines, they practice revenue management. So they move rates. That's why Andrew is here as one of the bigger experts in revenue management. And obviously the consumers, they react in different ways. So the research that Rania is showing to us, and then Andrew will ask us some questions, will show how clients react to the practice of revenue management. Thank you.
Thank you.
The stage is all yours.
Thank you very much. As Giancarlo said, Rania El Haddad did a very good study about the forbidden sin, which is we always confuse our industry in hotels between customer service and making money. We usually want to serve our customers in a very good way in hotels. At the same time, we don't want to make them upset, so we really sacrifice the money-making thing because we don't want them to be upset by giving them the best rate. If they're upset, we refund things. We say it's free. So what Rania did for us today is something we always wanted to know. What is the impact of what we do in pricing and restrictions on our customers? Ms. Rania Haddad from SURREY University, she's doing a PhD in revenue management, as well as she's a co-founder of H Hotelier. She will tell us the result of this research. Please, go ahead.
Thank you, Andrew. As Andrew introduced me already, I come from the University of Surrey, where I'm completing my PhD study in revenue management. And I also co-founded H Hotelier, which is a hospitality company with a star product on a revenue management star product. And the agenda for today will be looking into revenue management practices, concentrating later on how customers do view revenue management from both the customers within the hotel and customers in the market, and then concluding on the findings. So we'll define briefly revenue management before looking into the practices of revenue management. And the way I see revenue management is actually a practice of dynamically pricing your perishable capacity or your perishable product and selectively allocating your scarce capacity into segmented demand and distribution channels, while overlooking as well customers' value and profitability so that you can maximize gross total revenue as well as profitability to the company. And the practices of revenue management can be summarized into two different practices, either dynamic pricing, which is fluctuating your price based on distribution channels, segmentation, etc., or looking into inventory controls, which is about overbooking, capacity restriction, and length of stay restrictions. The focus of the presentation will lie on some questions, which I'm sure you've all come across with in your life. Whenever you have booked an airline ticket or a hotel room, and you were sitting on an airline with someone next to you, and you both have paid different prices for the same seat, flying on the same day towards the same destination. And how did that make you feel? How did you feel about having to pay different prices across one stay? How did you feel about when you were denied a booking because of price or because of restrictions? So all of those have led to the aim of that study that I completed. A little bit of literature on revenue management. The way revenue management has been implemented in a hotel, I can see it into this diagram, which takes into consideration several aspects. On one side, you have the human support, whereby you have the revenue management committee, the trainings, the yield culture that you create at your property. On the other side, you have technology, which is the interface that you try to build, as well as the system that you try to acquire, that both interact with a reservation system, which could be your PMS, where you decide who you want to accept, who you want to reject, and who you want to deny, which is directly in relation with the customer. And you have demand analysis, where you try to analyze your demand, your patterns, your denials, declines, your cancellations, and all goes into the decision-making box, which is on one side the short term, which is the operational, where you decide on your rate restrictions and capacity restrictions, and the long-term strategic decision-making, where you set your segmentation, your pricing, the value, a SWOT analysis, a competitive analysis. And it's all about as well giving some feedback to your employees about applying revenue management and getting as well the external environment, which is where your competitors are, to always interact within your system of revenue management implementation.